Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Okay, the music doesn't go on long enough for it to do that, it just loops. So, well, I don't know what to say really, like, lately I've found that I haven't really done much recording. Like, this channel I've been doing recording when need be, but with my other channel, the main one, I've already still got recordings in advance, so I haven't really recorded much for that. But then I eventually was like, okay, let's record 2 parts for The Sims Busting Out. And so I did. And then there's the Mugen thing that I recorded when I had the flu. And I finally got around to adding in like the extra kind of editing that I'd forgot. And I wanted to like have some Hatsune Miku commentary. So I thought at the time, I was like, shit, my voice, I can't do commentary today, but fuck it, I'm recording anyway, but so like, I'll have like, maybe Hatsune Miku like do commentary, and I did not think it through, because today, when I was trying to actually do that, I went like maybe a minute's worth of Miku commentary, before I was like, fuck it. It's hard to actually get her voice to sound natural. Because, well, she usually sings. It's easy enough to make it sound natural when she's singing, but when you're having it so that she's speaking, it just sounds like really odd. You have to change like adjust the tempo to make it sound a bit more natural, but it still sounds kind of odd. Just like that's not even saying any words, but that's essentially how it seemed like. I even had her comment on that, it's like, Blue Skull Dragon 87 is too lazy to, like, add more, or something like that, so then switch to the wrestling commentary, which has some amusing moments, just like, especially, like, in the first, because they had to be split into 2 parts, I know this has got nothing to do with this, but whatever. And, like, it's basically all the characters from Key, well, the ones that have fighting characters that are able to use in Mugen anyway. And this one reoccurring thing in Part 1 and Part 2 is when Akiko fights, she, like, has this move where she can, like, suck the opponent up in a vacuum cleaner, and I'd always have, like, some commentary over that. Like, JR going from wrestling, just like, going, my god, there's people in there! There's people in there! And it's just really random. You'll see what I mean whenever I get around to uploading that. That is, if you actually check it out. But anyways, it's got nothing to do with this. I just felt like randomly going on about that, because why not? She takes stock of me and then sighs deeply, looking wryly amused somehow. I hope she didn't misunderstand. Would you like to come in? Your teacher's visiting. We were discussing Ring's expedition. Thanks for the invitation, but I really should. Don't be shy now. Come on in. You know, honestly, thinking back to how he described her voice or something, like being like a woman that smoked a lot of cigarettes, because she technically has, and I'm just giving her this normal voice that I usually give, while part of me is thinking it should sound more like, I can't remember her name, that slug woman from Monsters Inc. The one that's like, well, no, I did it in freaking Mother 3 LP, but I freaking can't do it now. It was like, that was a spur of the moment, spot on impression that was when what part of the Mother 3 LP was that? Actually, I'm gonna see if I can get it up here a second. Okay, what, options? Let's mute a second. Let's see, how did I do the voice in that LP?
Reminds me of what's her face.
Come on, get to the point, me.
Well, what do we have here? piece of shit and cohorts and all that. I ain't got time for your stupid business there.
Yeah, we get the idea. But that's a spot-on impression. That I wasn't expecting to actually sound like the character. But I can't seem to do that now. But imagine if I'd given Sai that voice, essentially. Be totally different atmosphere. I mean, the scenes probably seem even sillier, really. It's like a serious scene, and I'm like doing that, well, actually, no, I was going in a bit of echo, the dolphin voice there again. Whatever. I follow Sai inside, finding that our odd teacher indeed is there. The boy is standing at the big desk, contemplating what looks like an invitation card.
Look what the cat dragged in.
No, that just doesn't sound right for this character.
He's like, yes, I've smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Hi, hello there, my boy. He doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. How do you like the invitations? I glance at them quickly. They're kind of fancy, with one of Rin's paintings printed on the front cover and shiny gold writing. Like, hello there. Come to the art exhibit or something, I don't know. They look fine to me. They're magnificent. I absolutely love the design, and the Evo's gold lettering. Fabulous! Good print work too. You have to tell me where you get these done. What does Rin think? I haven't asked. She said she'd be fine with my decision anyway. The buyer laughs boisterously, forever still turning the gold-lettered card in his hands. That's my girl. Wants to focus on the essentials only. Good fire. Work is progressing well too. It seems she's found new inspiration. I think she's been sort of weird lately. It's like she's wrestling with something with herself, probably, and it makes her confused. She said she had a hard time painting the last time I saw her. It seems to be resolved now, however. You know she practically lives up there now, right? Sai makes a simple gesture with her hand as if sweeping my question aside. Sure. Don't you think that's weird? Maybe it is. Still, I think she understands how big an opportunity this is and is going for it, full throttle. Is it really that big? The buyer sets the card down and brushes some imaginary dust off his jacket. Well, how should I put it? There are times in everyone's lives where something really big washes over you and changes you forever. This could be just that moment for Tezuka. I see. Yeah, I think I've had something like that happen to me. I'm referring to the incident that brought me to Yamaku. None of the two adults comment on that, however. It might well be that everyone has, or will. At any rate, surrendering oneself to art is a big decision. On a Frony path too, quite 40 indeed. Did I say Phony, but the first time say Frony? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I always get my words mixed up with the pronunciation. Tezuka has almost everything one needs. But, well, she has the will to pull through. That's a different question. I should know that best. I tried going down this path too, but turned away in the end. I don't understand what he's trying to say. I think we go with this one, but I wonder what you'd actually get from that. Well, whatever. Why did you stop exactly? You've mentioned that before. Oh, that's a long story. It would take about as much plot as this visual novel, so it'd be pretty long. Maya throws a sideway glance at the gallery owner, who has drawn her mouth into a thin straight line. I've had a life-changing experience. I thought it was changing character. Why do they have the same freaking color fonts? I've had a life-changing experience like that, even though I didn't realize it until later. It'd be interesting if I had my own story to be told there, but that's not the case. Did I tell you that Sai and I have known each other for a long time? We studied at the same school. It's been, goodness, how long has it really been? That'll be an interesting spin-off, wouldn't it? All the adult characters, like, just like flashback kind of thing for them or something, I don't know. But then, how would that go exactly? Would they all conveniently all still be in the same general area? Please don't count the years, Shinichi.
Maybe you're right. At any rate, when we were in school, we had this friend, I should say. We were in the same program, and I think he met Sai at some party. I got to know Sai from him, in fact. He was a spectacular artist, much like Tezuka. Great talent despite the young age. He easily left the rest of us in his dust. We were good friends, he and I, but there were things that created friction in the friendship. It felt like I was watching him from afar.
You weren't the only one.
Namaya coughs, looking embarrassed. At any rate, he ended up taking his own life. Such a tragedy. In retrospect, that was what made me choose a career as a teacher in the end. I never was that brilliant nor that passionate. I desperately wanted to be a career artist, but I wasn't suited for that.
You know, honestly, this backstory is a bit surprising, really. Honestly, I'd completely forgotten what his backstory was, so that's kind of... That's an interesting perspective, I suppose. Kind of like, he's all obsessed with his art, and now he's like saying he wasn't very overly passionate about it, or brilliant at it in the past, but he's grown a passion for it, and he also had that reason for switching career roles. You were good enough.
Perhaps I would have been, but this is what I ended up with. I just didn't have that drive after he was gone.
Or maybe there's more to the story, I can't really remember.
I'm fond of kids and enjoy all forms of art, so it felt rather natural to take this path in life. But I think all that history with that friend of ours was the key thing, as it was a turning point, as they say.
Sai stands and digs in a pocket of her jacket for a cigarette and a lighter. Her hands are shaking. I'm going out for a smoke. Wordlessly, the bird flaps its wings. Well, obviously, wordlessly, it's a bird. Amaya and I both decide to follow her after a moment. It's already dark outside. Sai is standing with her back to us, taking sharp occasional drags on her cigarette. Its weak amber glow illuminates her face, framing her sharp jawline.
Maybe it's best to call it a night. I can give you a lift back to school if you want, Nagani.
You're not going anywhere, Shinichi. I need a drink. We're going to that place at the corner. The teacher looks at the old lady and then the bird and then shrugs at me apologetically. It's no problem, but I'll just catch the bus back. I'm headed upstairs to see if Rin will come back to school with me anyway. I think she's been staying overnight here too often lately. Sai locks the front door of the gallery and links arms with the old art teacher. I feel strange looking at them. I wonder how their night will go. I wonder what it feels like to have friends who have been with you for decades, for most of your lives. I can't imagine it. The two of them start making their way down. You know, actually that reminds me. You know, chatty teenagers. You know, you have like a group, there's like a group of friends that are always everywhere you go. And they're always like, blah, 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 always chatting. And then you see old people that do the same thing. And I'm starting to think, that's probably what they were like as teenagers. And they'd like stayed friends all the way to that age. And that's truly quite impressive. And they still keep up with it. That's my guess, anyway. Because really, that really is quite something, if it's true, you know. The two of them start making their way down the street towards the bar on the corner. So I quickly head upstairs to the atelier door, ready to get to what I originally came here for. I climb upstairs and enter carefully. The room is dark because of the quickly falling night, but I can see Rin, or rather her silhouette, sitting on the floor. So she's got her inspiration back like Sai said, and moved from easel to painting on the floor. Before I manage 5 steps, I stop, frozen in my tracks. The ironic realization that human cognitive ability is commendable echoes through my mind. From a mere movement of her shadow, it took me a fraction of a second to realize something is awry, process what I'm seeing, formulate the answer, and blush all the way up to the tips of my ears. Wait. Rin is sitting on the floor with her legs under her. She moves in rhythmical motions back and forth, slowly grind herself against herself. Wait, grind herself against herself? Her breathing is so heavy it's almost visible to the dim light. It's the heavy panting of one who doesn't have the option of breathing gracefully. She's doing what I think she's doing, isn't it? Also, isn't that the Mona Lisa? Huh. I take it that's not one of her paintings then. Her hips smear shadows against the dim light shining on her from above while swinging certainly over and over again. Just don't have me voice act any lines of hers in this situation. She hasn't noticed me, so engrossed she is in her activity. Wait, just realized. I realized what she's doing, but then I realized, remembered, she doesn't have arms, so... Okay, the deadlock solves itself before I get a chance to think what to do next. Something in the atmosphere of the room changes. A little thing, not consciously noticeable, but it changes. Perhaps a timid current from the open door, or a minute change in air pressure. The sound of my breathing, even though I notice I haven't taken a breath for many, many seconds, the aura of my presence. That something catches Rin's head. She stops moving, freezes, and slowly turns to the door, sees a bird, and is like, "What the fuck, man? Knock on the door!" I imagine not see the horror on her face, like a form's eyes staring at a hunter, and a bird chirping and chirping and chirping. I wonder if Rin can see my expression, or at least she doesn't have the strength for the spirit to look straight in my eyes. So she droops her chin against her chest, letting her mess of her hair hide her face from me even further. I feel like I should either walk out or walk to her, but I can't do either. I told you to stay away. Her words are defeated, painful as if she was suffering. Rin doesn't have anything else than her shirt on. I can see the last wipes of the twilight against the pale skin of her thighs and body. There's no way I can back off anymore. I lost the chance, so I do the next best thing. I quickly avert my gaze, even though Rin doesn't see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I didn't think... It's not like that. Her voice is raspy, shivering from held-back tears or something else. Okay, so I got to put more emotion into it. I usually voice her in a monotone, after all. She is shaking, looking like she is physically in pain. It's not like that. I had no idea what it really means to change, but I know. Oh, goddamn paragraphs, woman! I know you're like going like outbursts and all that, but wow. Not even, man, this is actually, no, even I don't speak like that. You know, where there's like no commas, just a full, like, never-ending paragraph, no punctuation, nothing. I had no idea what it really means to change, but I now know I know now you have no idea what I've had to do, and all the things I pass through, and I think I forget, I really don't. They just build up inside and grow and grow and grow until they float. God damn, even I have to breathe in between these lines. I freaking talk where I like read entire paragraphs sometimes without like so much breathing in once, you know, but this is just like I forget, I really don't. They just build up inside and grow and grow and grow until they flow out like a flow of everything that has ever been wrong. I can't take it. I can't think of the things I want because there's so many things that I can think of. I think 4, 6, 7 doesn't matter. It's enough. I have to let this out. I have to destroy it, forget it, and nothing else. Rin is mumbling her words into the air more than talking to me. It is the rambling, ranting, raving speech of a lunatic, even and steady in tone, but taking the form of a never-ending stream of words almost simultaneously spouting from between her lips. It feels like she forgot it is me who's present, or that someone actually is present. Maybe she vaguely recognizes what is real and what's not. Maybe in her mind I am a voice inside her head. I look down at Rin's sorry figure cowering on the floor with only the white shirt of her usual attire on. It neither preserves the modesty that is gone nor her body warmth that she doesn't seem to care about. She looks more broken than I imagine a human person being capable of, and the hospital and school have given me some real perspective on that. I remember the hazy blue smoke and myself wondering what Rin would do for the sake of art. realization that Rin really is always serious hits me with its entire weight. She really and truly would destroy herself if her art required it. I thought she was so silly with her strange ways, talking about personal change as if it was something sudden and concrete, like waking up. I had no idea. This is her laid bare in front of my eyes in all possible meaning of the word. Complete isolation here in the top floor of this building, in this room, in her mind. Day after day, working on her paintings with no heed paid to anything else. Breaking herself to reach that which she wishes to reach. This obscene art that she does for reasons I'm not sure she herself understands. Why does she have to do this? I'm trying to connect the pieces, but I don't understand. I feel sad, scared, excited, disgusted, worried, and a number of emotions I can't remember the name of now. I feel conflicted. I should go. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. My voice is dry and quiet, like sandpaper coming out of my throat. I really am sorry. Sorry for seeing this. I don't want to see Rin like this. All I can see is her sadness, her stress and despair. Is this what a limit means? How could Sai and Amaya let Rin go this far? Or is it me who is to blame? I almost walk out right there, but at the last moment I turn around, steel myself, and walk to Rin to crouch down behind her and lightly touch her forehead. She doesn't resist or react. I can't leave her like this. She's not well. She feels like she has a fever, freezing cold and burning hot at the same time. I wonder if she got sick from staying out all night with me back then. Seems she's prone to getting ill. There is a blanket on the couch, but I wrap my arms around Rin instead of fetching it. She does not resist my clumsy hug, only slumps her head lower, deepening the shadows hiding her face from me. What are you doing? Nothing. I am not embracing her out of love, nor out of forgiveness, for am I in love or is she sorry? I just want to hug her. For a moment, the only sound in the room is her heavy breathing. You know, I just noticed that right there. Is that one of her paintings? Because that looks very different to pretty much anything else she paints. My body warmth shared between two people is barely enough, but slowly, painfully slowly, it spreads from me to her. The small warmth returning to Rin makes me more conscious of her body against mine. Even in the darkness, I can feel the fleeting scent of Rin's hair, the sweat on her skin, the dried paint stuck in her shirt. Is it going to lead into one of those scenes after a moment like this? Well, I remember Hanako's route, and there was, one of those scenes did actually happen after quite an emotional scene, but we haven't even got to that route yet. I feel the hardness of her bones and the softness of her flesh, her heartbeats echoing mine out of rhythm just like always. The hot blood rushing inside me reminds me why I said what I said back then, why I came here even after that, why I am here tonight again, why I'm hugging her now to keep her safe against the cold and the sadness. Rin has really grown on me inside my heart, claiming a small part of it as her own without even particularly trying. Rin. Even if she wanted to push me away, I can't help this feeling. Are you alright, Rin? I'm not. I think I broke. I painted some really good things. Incredible. But it hurts me. I can't handle this. The voice cuts out, as there are no more words for her to say. It's not an angry voice, nor a sad voice. It is a lifeless voice. I pet her head and shoulders, the physical equivalent of saying, there. It's not like I could reassure her with the sweet nothings that people are supposed to say in this kind of situation. Not sure she would even listen or be reassured. She didn't react much to my embrace either, as if she didn't care. Maybe she doesn't. At least she doesn't care if she looks sad or not. There are no facades, no attempts to explain herself, no false happiness. Rin is honest. Hisao. What is it? You're my friend, right? Right. Will you do me a favor? I can't fix this, but I'm not finished yet. Her dry voice is a mere whisper, but the strength, her last, is in it, delivering her meaning much more clearly than her words. I can feel Rin's heart beating against my chest like a scared little bird. Her entire body is shivering from her fever, from her fear, from her despair. Wait, her fever! From her fear, from her despair. My brain is fast becoming overloaded with the myriad of thoughts that this encounter spawns, but I have to push them all aside. I snuggle my nose against her earlobe, which is soft and cold, and her hair, which smells good and tingly. Wait, alright, I'll do it. I whisper in her ear, reassuringly trying to make her calm down. It works at least halfway, as Rin closes her eyes and leans against me as if searching comfort from my warmth. It's not something that friends should do. So it is! It's gonna go to one of those scenes, is it? We can't be friends anymore. It's fine, don't worry about it. Just relax. Even though I said that, I'm on the verge of breaking myself. If I wasn't so nervous, I would laugh at my own nervousness. She wants to be comforted, and I want to comfort her. You know, I'm just now picturing, like, a clone of Hisao just kind of laughing like Nelson from The Simpsons, like, ha ha! But in this way, I move my hand. Yep, birds! Touching the naked skin of her stomach, caressing Rin with my hand. When does the scene begin? Because it sounds like it's already begun. I will continue to read until it gets too awkward, or the scene actually, you know, turns into that scene. Her muscles contract timidly, evading my touch, but soon they find their trust in me and relax. Wait, I might as well read some of this, even though it'll have to be blanked out screen due to the scene. I don't know, because, I don't know, it feels somewhat plot relevant. Okay, Rin's line. It's okay, I don't know what I'm doing either. And then skip that bit. Skip that bit. Only read plot relevant bits. Skip. Skip. I wonder what she sees, but what I see in her almost scares me. The passion in her eyes is like nothing I've ever seen. Her dark eyes like two black stones against the moonlit skin of her cheek. I kiss her gently on the cheek, right above the bone. My lips are coarse and dry. And then he cops a feel. Not even joking. Well, of course I wouldn't be joking. It's one of those scenes. So skippity. Is there going to be any other noteworthy dialogue? She reacted. Well, whatever, I'll read that. I push Rin over the edge. Her entire body contracts around. No, never mind. They're just, whatever. Later I would come to think that this finally was the moment when Rin fully let herself go and in one single instant destroyed and rebuilt herself, just like she had wanted. So, okay. Seemed plot relevant, I suppose, to point that out. But, you know, it kind of annoys me how in scenes like this, they actually has plot. I mean, sure, it kind of makes them seem, you know, a bit more than just, you know, I don't know, random one of those scenes just for the sake of it. Whether it's the truth or not, I couldn't say, but that's how I feel. Okay, now it's kind of gone back to the LCG, so it could be on-screened until they probably go right into that scene again. Rin gasps for breath like she's drowning, returning to reality because she has no other choice. Or maybe that was all they did. They didn't really do much of anything, really. It's just, yeah. No actual intercourse there. Her entire body is still in the throes of the slowly dying moment. Pearls of sweat are glistening on her forehead. I am feeling my own heat inside of me, but now the spur of the moment is gone, and I don't know what to say to Rin, who is painting, holding ecstatic in my arms. Her shit. Got distracted there. Sounded like I said her shit there. Her shirt, wet with sweat, is glued to her back. Imagine if that was. Just like, her shit, wet with sweat, is glued to her back. Ooh, that's a nasty image. Revealing hints of her shoulder blades and waistline. She feels limp, weak, exhausted. I reach out for the blanket and wrap it around her and me. Rin doesn't resist me, and she is drained of all her strength. Well, all strength, same thing. What happened now?
I don't know, nothing. I suppose you look tired.
I am tired. It feels strange, like I lost something. I mean, something else than my... man, I freaking heard that. And... I don't know why such common words and I can't even freaking pronounce it. Marital purity, whatever.
Don't say something like that. I love those things. I don't want to lose you.
What does that mean? I'm not going anywhere.
I'm afraid that you are all the time.
In that moment, I felt that I was not only Rin who lost something of hers, I felt like I was losing a part of myself. Maybe all of me. But if you were to ask what it was that I lost, I couldn't say because I'd already forgotten it. I broke another promise by coming out with my honest feelings to Rin. That's 2 in 1 day.
I hate the distance between you and me, so every time it gets a little bit closer, I become afraid of losing it.
That's weird.
I guess so.
Do you mind if I sleep a little? No, I guess you don't. You like watching, don't you? She closed her eyes and swallows with a loud gulp, trying to relax herself, fighting against the urge to paint.
Yes, I do.
Rin moves her body in my arms, searching for a comfortable position in our very uncomfortable position. She leans against me, closes her eyes, and lets one last long breath out before settling into the steady sleep. With her last moment of awareness, she whispers something to me, but I can't hear it. Rin drifts deeper into sleep with a deep sigh that releases all remaining tension from her muscles. I try to shift around to place both of us more comfortably. It takes a while because I don't want to wake up Rin, even though she probably wouldn't. But eventually, I find a position I am somewhat comfortable with. I lean against the soft cushions of the couch and breathe in the cool air of the atelier. I'm always gonna say it like that, because of that freaking... I mean, really, the way it's spelled and pronounced is totally different. Rin's head rests against my chest as if she was listening to my heartbeats. Echoes of her dream ripple as small twitches on her face, like a cat sleeping the mouse hunter's dream. The full moon, shining her pale light upon us from beyond the skylights, reflects from a blank canvas standing forgotten on easel, except we can't actually see the moon in CG. Its whiteness is glowing against the dark night of the atelier. It's 11:15, man. I'm talking in the night here, man. I'm recording as usual on the day of upload. I be editing and I upload the first bit of this recording straight away, right after it, I imagine, with how late it is in terms of when I actually upload. Well, this is usually around the time I upload. So yeah.